We're here to talk about the gut wrenching New York Knicks loss. The final was 115 to 111 against the San Antonio Spurs. It breaks the Knicks win streak of what is it, 12 in a row? 12 playoff games in a row. The Knicks have had a phenomenal run of basketball tonight. I mean, there was a lot of things that led to this 115, 111, but I'll just start by saying this. And it's a continuation of what I saw yesterday and in game one. The referees have got to stop interfering in these games, man. The NBA has got to allow these teams to play. They've got to if you're a referee and you're paid to make the right calls on the court, you're paid. You're paid to do this. You're not asked to do this for free. This is your job, man. This is your job to make the right calls, the calls that are right in front of your eyes. You have an obligation and a duty to make them. Game was great, but again, I shouldn't have to keep leading with the horrific, disgusting, disgraceful refereeing that I've been seeing in this finals for the New York Knicks. I should not, man. Did Trump pardon Oakley? Can't go. Yo, what's up? Funny quote. And I'm gonna get a lot of people that's gonna be at me for the rest of the week telling me Trump was a bad sign. I heard he was a bad omen. He's bad luck. Why did James Dolan invite him there? Maybe you're right. We'll figure. We're gonna see on game. We're gonna see game four. And listen, maybe he should have pardoned Oakley. Maybe it'd have been good. But listen, Oak has burned bridges on his own. We're not even gonna get into that. Oakley has been his own worst enemy with many members of the team, especially the captain. All right, but let's focus on this game. 115 to 111. The referee play again was atrocious. The San Antonio Spurs, especially Wemby, once they drive, it doesn't matter what you do to them, man. They're giving a call. I watched tonight the bench, the guy, first guy up the bench, Keldon Johnson. I watched this guy just bowl his way down the rim, and everything's a call. Everything's a foul call for this guy. They had to do a review when he shoved Mitch into Wemby for that last second three for them to finally realize this guy is a butch. He fouls. On the other end, the Knicks, they had a fight for calls. Jalen Brunson again was mugged tonight. What you saw was like assault, and I'm not talking with basketball skills. I'm talking about physical assault on Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson could have had two flagrant fouls called. One on Wemby, where Wemby grabbed him by the neck and shoved him down. Hey, what's up there? Might be 11298. We see you out there. Introduction tomorrow. We see you. What's up out everybody out there in the chat? Jalen Brunson was fouled flagrantly twice in this game, and it was called, and not any of them were called. Wemby literally grabs Jalen Brunson by the neck and shoves him down. No basketball play, no play on the ball, just a straight up disgusting gutter ball play. Wemby should have had a flagrant call on him for that. And then Stephon Castle runs into Jalen while Jalen's standing there, forearms him. That's not a basketball play. That's a football hit. That's not a basketball play. Forearms him, knocks him off his feet, slams him down on the ground. Referee, that was challenged. The referee again ruled that as not a flagrant. Disgusting. Disgusting, man. Cat slapped around, no call. I mean, I don't know what the Knicks need to do. Maybe they need to pay these referees, man. Maybe they need to get an Epstein files on these referees, blackmail them. I don't know what they need to do. Maybe they need to pray more. I don't know. At this point, I'm about done with these referees, man. For this final, they have been atrocious, and this is coming off one of the worst refereed games I have ever seen in any finals. The last game, game two. against the Spurs. You know how bad that game was? I literally had somebody come up on my feed and showed me one of the plays that I saw it, but I didn't even catch some of the stuff where De'Aaron Fox traveled, carried. What else did he do, bro? You remember that double dribbled, and they let this guy come down the lane and get an N1 on Deuce, and Deuce didn't foul him. I mean, that was that was one I missed. I went through about maybe 4 or 5 calls that Tony Glover should be suspended from this finals and never ref another game in a finals. But let's stick to this game. And I just want to lead with this, and then I'm going to pass it to Josh, man. Credit to Castle for hitting that three. It was a bad last second three that was really the nail in the coffin. Cart should have home on the shooter. Trust Carl Anthony Towns to handle his defensive assignment against Wemby. That was an easy corner three, wide open. You cannot give that up in the final seconds of a game. So that was on Josh Hart, and that was a clutch shot by Castle. I give that up to him. Wemby, I think Wemby's a thug. I think he's a kid that's spoiled, that gets referee calls given to him at his behest because the NBA is trying to promote this kid as the next second coming of Wilt Chamberlain without letting him actually produce it and do it on his own. Just saying, man. And then tonight, this guy proved it. I mean, how do you grab a player by his neck, shove him down like that, and you're not at least you're not even given a flagrant or thrown out of the game for that. And a fellow all-star, peer level all-star, top player in the game. I think it's disgusting, man. Disgusting. The refereeing crew for this series cannot even hide the fact that they've been trying to carry the Spurs, push the Spurs. Had they not even done that tonight, we would have won this game, man. Period. And I'll go back to the stats, but I'll end with this. I'll end with this. The Spurs, 25 of 32 free throws. The New York Knicks, 18 of 22 free throws. So they shot 32 free throws, 10 more in our building. Flagrant foul the captain twice in front of the ref. I watched the play. The ref was looking right at Wemby when he did it, man. That's why Wemby was smiling all night. He knew the referees were going to help him out, man. I mean, listen, man, I don't respect this Spurs team. I think they're a dirty, gutter ball team. All night they were doing all kind of dirty plays, hitting, all kind of nastiness, man. Disgusting, man. I mean, it's enough, man. It's enough, man. And it's not. Bro, if you watch this game as an abject fan and you watch how they've played, no sane basketball watcher that watches the game could endorse that type of play. And if you're gonna call it like that, then you should be calling it fairly down the line. If you're gonna call it where anything goes like that, when then the Knicks should, when Cat's going down the lane and getting knocked to the ground, he should be given a foul call for that. You're calling that for Wemby. You're calling that for Keldon Johnson, a guy off the bench. You're calling that for Derek Harper that's Derek Harper. Dylan Harper. Every time he drives down the lane, the least you can do to make it at least look like you're an objective referee group and you're not trying to carry a team because you want to stretch games out and because you want to create a narrative for Wemby. The least you could do to make it even look like you're not trying to do what you're doing is cut it fair down the line. But it's listen, and I'm not fully blaming this on the Spurs. The Knicks played timid tonight. I thought that Jalen Brunson caught fire, but I thought he was way too selfish with the basketball. He did not move it quick enough. He allowed them to set up their double teams, did not get the ball out. He would pound the dribble for 8 seconds in a shot clock. You cannot do that. We got here by ball movement. I thought Kel was fed up. Kel didn't really touch the ball until late. You can't do that. This is a guy that just got 20 points. You got to get him the ball earlier. Cat. What happened to Cat? What happened to Cat? Why did we go away from it? Why did we not establish him in the low block? Why does he have to catch the ball every time far out? The Spurs were establishing Wemby in the paint. The Knicks needed to counter that by establishing Cat deep in the paint. So I'm not fully blaming this on the refs, but the refs get 70% of the blame for this game tonight because they were egregious fouls in front of their face and they said nothing. Nothing. And for that, I don't respect that. And I don't respect the play, the dirty play of the Spurs that I saw tonight. I just don't. Now, whether Trump was a so-called bad sign or bad omen, you guys, that's up for you guys to decide. I think him getting booed was should have been his cue that it wasn't a good idea to accept the invitation there. Even if Dolan invited you, you should have been smart enough to know you're not liked around these parts like that by the majority of New Yorkers. There's a sect that like you, but a lot don't. And the country, a lot in the country doesn't, and there's a lot around the world that doesn't. But it's whatever, man. I that's not even important to me. What's important is that we lost. This was a game we should have won. We had a hot streak going from the middle of the second quarter to the end, where we took the lead and had a 7 point lead. We came out turning the ball over. The Knicks had way too many unforced errors and turnovers in this game. And they all did. Brunson, oh my gosh, man. Bridges, even a guy that was one of the hottest players we had, Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson committed about 2 or 3 bonehead turnovers, man. So for the points he gave us, he also took away with that, man. We got to take care of the ball better. All right. So that's about it for me. Everybody in the chat, I see you out there. Should I answer that question? What you think? Just before we lost this,
I mean,
I never tried. No, I've never tried Costco's rotisserie chicken. I like rotisserie chicken, but I'll never try. At least you gave me a good laugh. I appreciate that. Everybody out there in the chat, everybody watching online, we appreciate the love. We appreciate you guys watching. Comment, give your takes. I mean, Josh, what do you think of the game, man? I mean, go ahead, bro.
yeah, basically everything you said is spot on. About the reps, yeah, that was terrible officiating. And the crazy part about it was that they called um they called Brunson as I think they gave him a tech for the closeout against Champagny,
Yeah.
while Wemby didn't get a tech for throwing him to the ground. And then that second play where was it again where Castle shoved him to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he didn't Castle didn't get a tech for that either. They ruled that as not unnecessary contact. So
I mean, yeah. What do you do? What do you just let them know? Let the audience know what that looks like to see that in real time during an NBA Finals game where these calls matter. Let them know, man.
it's really frustrating because you know that this team is better than the Spurs. They're built better and like they have the opportunity to win, but it's hard when you have both players on your team struggling and you have the refs working against you. And yeah, a big reason for this is just over the last 2 games, just the terrible officiating. That's a big reason for the loss. Um, and then going back to the just like their glaze for Wemby. I
Oh my
mean,
gosh, man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, big reason is just Wemby. It's really due to the officials and the NBA trying to adapt for not having SGA in the finals and having to pivot to Wemby being the new face of the league now. And because the NBA, I know that the NBA did not expect the Spurs to be in the finals and to beat OKC inside that last games, and they didn't anticipate Chet Holmgren having a terrible finals
Not
performance.
showing up.
Yeah, because the same calls they're giving to the Spurs now, they were given to the Thunder before,
Yeah.
and they were doing that trying to get the Thunder to win that series.
Yeah.
So now they're for some reason the NBA just doesn't like Jalen Brunson. I don't think he could be a face of the league. They don't think he can.
Yeah.
He or the Knicks could be like the top teams of the league for some reason. So they just they refuse to make the calls even and give us the type of calls that Wemby is getting or SGA would get. So
Yeah. And I think it's unfortunate because this Nick team, the storylines with this Nick team, the way they've handled themselves with class throughout this playoffs, not disrespecting the opponents, not talking crazy about the opponents, not throwing cheap shots at the opponents. I think it is to be commended. That's a team that you can market. That's a team that you can get behind, that you should get behind. Not to mention the fan base that's global.
mhm,
I mean, come on, man. The star power behind the team. I just think it. Listen, this is a very bad. It's a hurtful loss. I think the Knicks are going to still win game 4 coming up, but just dealing with this particular game, I think that it was a lost opportunity. I really and truly, I think the Knicks are realizing to win this title, that they're gonna have to fight not only the Spurs but the referees going forward. It just is what it is. This is 3 straight games of just horrible refereeing, man. I mean, I don't know what more to say. I don't know how much clearer to make it, man. I really don't, man. But you know, as much as I really hated how the Spurs played because I felt they didn't have to play dirty.
mhm,
They didn't have to do disgusting cheap shots. Grabbing somebody by the neck and shoving them down is disgusting, man, to
mhm,
do during a basketball game. Forearming him, that's not a basketball play.
mhm,
And this is the one thing I'll say. When I watched that game, I said to myself, and told my son and other people that were here during our watch party, the Knicks needed a Charles Oakley. He was mentioned by let me see who earlier in the chat who mentioned that, man. By Ken the Great. Ken, he should have been pardoned. Oakley, Charles Oakley on this present Nick team would have went upside Wemby's head the minute the ball was given to him in that post again. You touch our captain, the minute Wemby comes back in that post, they would have, flagrant or not, they would have took the foul. But he would have knocked Wemby's head off his shoulders. And Stephon Castle, they'd have probably closed Anthony Mason, rest in peace, Mace. He would have clotheslined him. The Knicks need to, when stuff like that happens, the Knicks need to bring in Jeremy Shohan.
mhm,
Use him to make an example of these guys. Let him set a hard pick. Let him set a deliberate play. Disguise it as a pick. Disguise it as fighting for position, and just a message needs to be sent to these young guys. Don't you ever disrespect in this house again against the captain. That was twice. That was
mhm,
twice the captain had a missive shot at him with no response. The game before they tried it, where Fox got in his face,
mhm,
and then Kale got there, and then Fox just shoved Kale all by his face, Mikal Bridges, in front of ref, which the ref did not even call.
mhm,
If that's gonna be the case, then the Knicks need an enforcer off this bench.
mhm,
Brown Brown needs to start doing that. Bring Sohan off the bench just for just if stuff like that happens. To say, look, bro, I need you to. I'm gonna play you 2 3 minutes. Go in there. I want you to lay the forearm to eat to anybody that touched in that particular case. Lay it on to Wembyambo. Lay it on to Castle. We have to protect our captain. That has got to be done. All right, that has got to be done. All right. So, and last but not least, Mike Brown has got to learn his lesson. Stop going away from Cat. Establish Cat in the post. Run a pick and roll with Cat. Pick and pop. Even when they brought in Alvarado and that bench group that brought the Knicks back, and then at points in the third quarter where the game started to go away, they went away from Cat, man.
Yeah.
Cat should have taken Brown should have, when he called timeout early in the game, should have told Cat, I want you taking those threes when you're there. You're catching it and you're waiting too long. You're allowing them to run out to you on the 3-point line. Just catch it and shoot. You're 6'11". You will shoot over them. They were sending guards flailing out to try to block his shot. Not Wemby all the time. It's mostly guards trying to go out on Cat. Shoot over them. Carl Anthony Towns needs to realize this, man. All right. And the coach needs to instill that. The coach needs to run plays for him. He needs to be involved more. Mikal tonight, I felt if Mikal was involved more early, I think he would have had a bigger game. But because they waited late to finally get him he had one shot going into the third quarter.
Yeah.
You can't do that, man. By the time they got him the ball, he was already cold and he was already like doubting himself and already timid with his shot. So it was a no-go. So we basically had disappearing acts from Carl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges. You cannot win. You cannot beat a team like the Spurs that also have the referees behind them like that. You cannot. We need all hands on deck. All starting five locked in. That's how we're gonna do this, man. That's how we're gonna do this. It can't just be a two-man show, which was basically Jalen and OG. Thank Yah for OG, or we would have been blown out in this game, man.
Yeah.
We would have been blown out, man.
Mhm.
You know, that's why you see him in the back right there, man. He was the key to this game, man. So that's I mean, tonight has been one of those rough. It's been one of those rough ones, man. This has been it was one of those because the Knicks had us on such a high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's been a long time since we've seen the Knicks lose. This is an old
Oh.
kind of a game the Knicks would lose.
Mhm.
Fight to come back, give the lead up the second half, and they're always fighting to get over the hump, but never
Yeah.
quite do.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, this is too familiar. This is familiar to the PTSD side of the Knicks game that
Yeah.
we were given the luxury of not dealing with for the last 12 straight games, man.
Yeah, bad turnovers, just missing crucial dagger threes and like not making smart defensive rotations.
No
Yeah, all those old Knicks just blunders, just
blunders, man.
yeah, it was really similar to that, and then just putting the ball in Jalen's hands and just asking him and relying on him to just
Yeah.
give us all the offense.
Yeah,
Like,
and him not realizing that
mhm,
you have teammates, man. He had
yeah,
how much did he have? He had 4 assists tonight, 5 assists. He had 5 assists.
mhm,
Bro, you got enough options to get more assists than that, bro.
mhm,
You got to move the ball around more. Stop trying. If your shot is off somewhat early, get Kale involved, get Cat involved early.
mhm,
If you notice, when Cat has these big games, he's giving the ball
yeah,
early.
mhm,
This man barely had any shots going through the first half. We cannot do that anymore. That's a recipe for disaster.
mhm,
So, going forward, feed Cat the ball early. Jalen, stop pounding the dribble for 8 seconds to 10 seconds in the shot clock. Move that ball. Come to him so you can get the ball to even Bridges. Cut over.
mhm,
But and honestly, Be more aggressive. Stephon Castle, every time he got that ball, he was looking at
Mhm.
tunnel vision just to keep driving straight ahead. I give him credit for that. He was attacking all night, man.
Mhm.
Now he turns the ball over a lot, and they were knocking the ball loose at times. But even with those, we weren't getting those lucky bounces, man.
Mhm.
We'd knock the ball loose, they'd get it back, and then still make a play. So it was just not the Knicks' night, man. I mean, and again, I led with the refs. I'm gonna end it with the refs. The refereeing has it's gotta change. It's gotta be more 50-50. You cannot give a team an extra 10 free throws in our building, not call two flagrant fouls that were obvious to anybody that watched the plays. Especially the Wemby grabbing of his neck. They said, "Oh, they missed it." They didn't miss that. That was
Mhm.
right in front of them, man.
Yeah, they earlier inside the game, they stopped the game to try to look at a replay, and like we could have done the same thing there.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, the referees was doing what was the most egregious stuff you seen from them tonight? I remember the one where they stopped the play. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh, yeah,
Break that one down, bro. Break that down.
yeah. The one where they stopped the play to, to kind of to try to I think it was I forgot what call it was they were trying to make, but
Yeah,
they stopped the play
we're
to
still here though. Let's go.
try to try to review it
Yeah,
after the Knicks already inbounded the ball.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And the Knicks lost seconds off of that.
mhm, yep,
The Knicks actually lost seconds off that play with them doing something that honestly should have been illegal
mhm,
for a referee to do that, man.
yeah,
I mean, listen, all right. So let's just end this one out. We're gonna end this out tonight with just the we'll end this out tonight with just the stats and close this quick live to a quick close. Uh all right, let's start with San Antonio. Champagne had 12 points, he was 4 of 9 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3-point range. So again, the Knicks again, and this was on Josh Hart a couple times, kept leaving Champagne open to double on the penetrators. Let Fox penetrate. Stay at home. If you are guarding Champagne, do not leave him. Do not leave him. A lot of his threes were daggers too. Stay at home on Champagne, man. Please, for the life of me, Knicks fans, just the Knicks team. I don't care who's going. I mean, if it's Kale, if it's OG, if it's Josh Hart, stay at home on Champagne. All you need to do is just stay home, keep a hand up, man. I want him to drive the basketball.
mhm,
He has no drive game. But when you leaving him wide open because you're doubling off onto the penetrators, the drivers, it's not good. We need to trust our individual matchups,
right,
and the last resort should be for you to double. Double leads to dagger. All right, double leads to dagger. Stay at home on the shooters, especially Champagne. Should never be open like that, man. Victor Wembanyama, who was the MVP of the game tonight, also one of the chief thugs of the night. You just played. It just. I mean, I don't even. I don't. I do not respect how he played tonight. I thought he played horrible. I thought he played disgusting, just from a NBA dignity of the game standpoint. But I read off his numbers: 32 points, 1 of 18 from the field, 2 of 4 from three, 8 of 9 from the free throw line. He got 9 free throws again. 8 rebounds, 6 assists. He played well defensively. He had 2 steals and 3 blocks. So he gave them the offensive output they needed. They ran a lot of pick and rolls with him, put him in the post, which was good. The Knicks should have done that with Cat, but did not add nearly as much as they did it with Wemby. So kudos to the Spurs for doing that. De'Aaron Fox, 12 points, 4 of 14 from the field. He shot horribly, 0 of 5 from three, 4 of 4 from free throw line. He had 8 assists, which was very good. I wanted Brunson to get that. But that a lot of those assists were to Wimbiambo on lobs. Where were the lobs for Cat?
mm,
Where were the lobs for Mitch?
yeah,
Right? I mean, he had 1 steal and 2 blocks. So He shot horribly, but a very good game for Fox, distributing the ball, affecting the game in other ways, man. Vassell Vassell was 11 points, 3 of 4 from the field, 3 of 4 from three, 2 of 3 from the field goal, from the free throw line, for rebounds. Played well. He played pretty solid, good defense. He was hacking, but he played good defense for the most part. I don't have too much of a complaint for Vassell. I thought he was dirty at times, but not that much. And he hit three. Was 3 or 4 from three. Very good game for him. Stephon Castle, who was really the player of the game, 23 points, 8 of 14 from field goals, 2 of 5 from three, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and only 2 turnovers. So he didn't turn the ball over, took care of the ball, had a good all around game. And again, went to the free throw line, man. Like Wemby, 8 of 9. Castle, 5 of 6. Fox, 4 of 4. You can't. I mean, that's in the starting lineup. You can't have a disparity like that against your starting lineup, man. And off the bench, Derek Harper played well. He struggled, but hit timely baskets when it was needed, timely threes when it was needed. To that one, he was only 1 for 8 from three, but that one three was a timely three.
Mm.
13 points, 5 of 18 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 9 rebounds, very good, 4 assists. So and 0 turnovers. Remember, Dylan Harper in that OKC matchup was turning the ball over left and right. So for
Mhm.
him to clean it up was a good thing, man. All right, so the Spurs had Harper off the bench again, playing big minutes for them, 32 minutes, and you know it was a balanced game for the Spurs. I mean, for the most part, their guys played pretty solid, man. They shot the ball solid. The key players, the threes were they were 12 of 34 from 3 point range, so they were able to put up their threes. You know, but what really was the key stat for them was their free throws. You know, 25 of 32 from the free throw line. You get 32 free throws in the road teams building is an advantage all the time, and not being called for the fouls that you commit, especially flagrants. Let's go to the Knicks. Yeah, you want to read their stats off, man? Let me start with who I thought was the MVP of the game.
Yep. OG, 28 points. 9 of 13 from the field, 3 of 7 from three, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. He had 5 rebounds,
Mm.
1 assist, 1 turnover, and 2 blocks.
How many threes did OG have? 3 of 7.
3.
OG Anunoby again showed up. He showed himself to be the clutch player that he's always been since the Knicks acquired him, especially in the playoffs. If it was not for OG Anunoby, we would have been blown out in this game. So again, my hat's off to OG. He always shows up, always shows out. He's just a clutch player that you can depend upon to give you points, defense, affect the game with key buckets. Let's go to the next player.
Then it's Carl Anthony Towns,
Yeah,
11 points, 4 of 10 from the field,
yeah,
0 of 2 from three,
yeah.
3 of 3 from the free throw line,
Hmm.
8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 3 steals, two
Hmm.
blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. For Carl Anthony Towns, he played a very good game. He got what is it? 3 steals, correct? Two
Mm.
blocks. So defensively, he was pretty good. He shot the ball. He's 4 of 10, but I think a lot of those misses came later down the stretch. Carl Anthony Towns didn't get the ball nearly enough. He didn't have any plays run for him nearly enough. You got to get the big man the ball. You got to get him involved. Now, listen, I know they were blitzing him. I know they were playing him, but they were playing a lot of smaller guys on Carl Anthony Towns. The secret to success that you had in game two was you got Carl Anthony Towns in the post often. You got him in, you got him easy touches. Anytime they would try to flash Castle on him, which they did in this game, and Champagne and some of these other guys, he immediately went straight to the matchup. And when Wemby doubled, he would kick. But there were times where he had not gotten the ball for so long. When he did get the ball, he actually started to like hesitate. You got to get him the ball early.
Mhm.
If and it especially behooved them to do that because Jalen was struggling in this game to start.
Mhm.
When that happens, the Knicks got to realize feed Carl early, feed Mikhail early. Jalen, get your shots when you can get them. But if you know they're doing rough press coverage on you, doubling you as soon as before you even getting up, and then especially as soon as you cross that half court line and they're on you like that, bro, you got to be looking to get the ball immediately to Carl. And now you run around the court, look to try to create space, be a decoy, slash, cut. The ball does not have to be in your hand 80% of the time for the offense, man, throughout the game. What happened to using Carl Anthony Towns as a hub? I know that Wemby's big, but let Wemby come up and stop it. At least show them that different look, man. So I just think they did not go nearly enough to Carl Anthony Towns, and it hurt us. It hurt us in the end, man. And the Knicks are gonna have you're either gonna learn it or we're gonna suffer. The reason we lost our last game, think about this. The last game we lost, you know why we lost that last game? We did the same thing then. This was in Atlanta that we did tonight in this game. We did not give the ball to Carl Anthony Towns enough. We did not use him enough. We did not go to him. The Knicks did. This has got to stop. It should be known once and for all that we're never to do this again.
Mhm.
If Brunson is able to shoot a certain 25 shots,
Mm.
Carl Anthony Towns should at least have 16 shots the basket. 16, not 10. At
Yep.
least 16. And it should be high percentage shots in the paint mixed up with his three-pointer off of that left corner or right corner. He ran from those tonight. He had open threes and did not take them, man.
Mhm.
It's 0 for 2, took 2 threes. He should really be at least 2 of 5 or 3 of 5 from 3-point range or 3 of 6. He should there was way too many threes that he passed up, man, because he had not been getting the ball. You got to get this guy shots, get him hot so he can take those shots with confidence. You cannot starve him away from the ball and then let him get table scraps through rebounds and
Mhm.
putbacks. You can't do
Yep.
that, man. You're forgetting what got you here. All
Mhm.
right, let's hit up Josh Hart, who was an MVP of the game, another one along with OG. What was his stats, bro?
16 points,
Mm-hmm.
6 of
Great.
10 from the field,
Mm-hmm.
4 of 7 from 3,
Yeah,
9 rebounds,
incredible,
5 assists,
incredible.
2 turnovers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Josh Hart played an incredible game. Saved the Knicks early when the offense looked stagnant. It looked like they didn't know what they were doing. It looked like they forgot they had a top 3 center. Refused to establish him in the paint early. They forgot Brunson forgot he has teammates who can help him if he gets them the ball. Instead of pounding the dribble 8 seconds into the shot clock.
Mhm.
When the offense broke down, Josh Hart was there to bail them out with timely threes, timely defensive plays, timely drive. So brilliant game for Josh Hart showing up tonight, man. Let's go with now we'll go to the player in the starting lineup that really was one of the culprits, many to cost them the game. Let's go.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges,
Read these low stats, low life stats.
2 points,
Yeah,
1 of 5 from the field,
1 of 5.
0 of 3
Yeah,
from 3,
yep,
5 rebounds,
yeah,
2 assists,
yeah.
um, 1 turnover,
Mm-hmm.
0 steals, 1 block.
Mikal Bridges, this was, man, probably one of the worst performances I've seen him have since that dreaded Atlanta game.
You
Yeah, game 3, where Nick fans were calling for his head, but he was
Mhm.
near tears in the locker room
Mhm.
and said that I need to do better. To come off of a 20 point, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, multiple steal game to
Mhm.
this, and I blame the coach. The coach has I blame Bridges, but I really blame the coach. Bridges is the type of player that cannot just create his own shot off the dribble.
No.
You have got to run plays for him. If Jalen is struggling like that, let Jalen bring it up the court. And whoever doubles, immediately kick the ball to that man, swing it around to get to Kale quicker.
Mm,
When the shooters get the basketball, these Knicks shooters, Mikhail and Cat, you got to shoot quickly and with purpose
mm,
because you're getting that much airspace before they close out. They're waiting in this game. They were so timid. They were like waiting for the Spurs young bucks to just run out off to the 3 point line and run them off their shots.
mhm,
You got to shoot quicker. You got to shoot early. You got to shoot with purpose, man. For Kale, he has to demand to get the basketball. You're a valued member of this team. You are a key component of this team. You're a veteran of this team now. Now you should have the wherewithal to tell Coach Brown, I want the ball. Get me the ball. I got one touch going into halftime and in the third quarter. Give me the ball.
mm,
I got 5 touches. You should be in Brown's face like, nah, bro, give me the basketball. I'll take responsibility for my bad play, but I need the basketball and I need it earlier so I can get high, get a rhythm. It's the job of the coach and the point guard to get their players, the side guys, the job. And he's not a side guy. He's a key component of that starting five, man. Just came off of a brilliant game that helped you win a game
mm,
that the refs tried to snatch from you.
yep.
So for Kale, horrible game. I hope he steps up. I hope he speaks up to Brown, and I hope they run plays for him as well. We need more plays ran for him, and especially for Carl Anthony Towns going forward. Let's close it out with Jalen Brunson, and then I'll do the bench guys.
Yeah. 32 points,
Yeah,
11 of 25 from the field,
yeah,
2 of 5 from three,
yeah.
7 of 8 from free throw line, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 turnovers, and yeah, that's
For Jalen Brunson, 50-50 game.
mm,
50% good, 50% bad. I thought Jalen shot horribly from the field, and I thought it took him way too long to realize that he had to get his other guys involved and trust his other guys to score. During the game, they had a soundbite where OG was talking to him like, yo, I got you. Patted him on the back like, I got you, bro. Let me carry some of the load. Brunson has got to learn to trust his guys.
mhm,
In this starting lineup, we got 3 scoring options that can easily score over 20 plus each game that they play in. That is Mikal Bridges, Carl Anthony Towns, and OG Anunoby. When you don't got it going, Cap, and they are doubling you and fouling you, I know they're hitting you and I know they're fouling you, man. The country's seeing it now, except for people that just don't want to see it. You got other options, bro. Get the ball out quickly to them. Let them make a play. Trust them to make a play. All right. I mean, 5 turnovers is horrible. That's a horrible stat, man, and that led to the loss. You're basically negating the 5 assists you just got, bro. So again, it was not the best of games for Cap. He was beat up. He was flagrant fouled twice with no calls and hit all night. So I get him being frustrated. I fully get it. Fully get it. But again, the captain came on strong later in the second half, just before the second half to give us that 7 point lead. And then later in the fourth quarter with some clutch baskets along with OG. So I would say it was a 50-50 game. He was good up to a point. He played well, but he also had some horrible shots, some horrible decision making with the basketball. Unforced turnovers. That turnover in the fourth quarter down the stretch where we were trying to fight back was a backbreaker.
mhm,
You cannot have unforced turnovers in the game at that point, gentlemen. You cannot do it, man. I don't care if you give up 30, you scoring 32, bro. You can't do that.
mhm,
Not in a game of this magnitude, man. So I thought he let the Spurs defenders with the fouls not being called, all that stuff get into his head at points. I thought he was timid on his shots. Shots he should have took, he was overpassing it after he already got by his defender. And it wasn't just him. I think a lot of these guys did that. I think Cat
Mhm.
did that. I think Bridges did that for sure.
Mhm.
So the only one that was really aggressive like that for the game was OG, was Josh Hart, and was Alvarado that were consistently aggressive for the game. So, I'll close this. Let me just close out this bench. Jeremy Shohan didn't play. He should have played, so he could have laid a forearm to Wemby
Mhm.
on Fox.
Mhm.
Stop all of this assault on the captain and these other Nick players. Mitchell Robinson played only 7 minutes with 5 points, 4 rebounds, no steals, no blocks, but 4 offensive rebounds, which helped. But Mitch basically was invisible for the game. Jordan Clarkson had a big game coming off the bench. 10 points, 4 of 7 field goals, 2 of 2 from three, which was big for him because he had not been hitting this three for a long time. 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 2 costly turnovers in the game as well, I might add. 1 steal and 1 offensive rebound. So Clarkson off the bench played well to a degree, but I thought his turnovers at time were costly. I thought his ill-advised plays where he would just run and right into the paint without even trying to set anybody up for a kick out, not even wait for guys to come back on defense. I thought was ill-advised, and I thought that Brown had to rein him in a bit. I thought he was a little bit
Mhm.
unfiltered. You gotta slow it down sometimes, man. You gotta play what's the word I'm looking for? You gotta play. You can't play
Pace.
helter skelter. Yes, you gotta play within pace. You
Mhm.
can't be helter skelter and just driving and it's you driving into a paint with 2, 3 people or with Wemby there.
Mhm.
You gotta be easy with that.
Yep.
For Landry, he had an off game. This was one of the
Yep.
worst Landry Shamit games in a long time. So and it happens. You figure at home that's when the role
Yep.
players play better, but it just was not a good night for him. 1 of 8 from the field. The only shot was a three. He had 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He had 1 block, which was good. 2 offensive rebounds. So he tried, but he just shot horribly tonight. Jose Alvarado was pretty good. He had 4 points, 2 of 5 from the field. It was 0 of 2 from three. He had 3 rebounds, 1 assist. I thought he played solid minutes when he came in. He was the only one that actually took it at Wemby. I think Jalen should look at Alvarado's approach, attack Wemby. For
Mhm.
Carl Anthony Towns, attack Wemby. A lot of these guys are giving Wemby way too much respect.
Way
Just
too much
attack
credit.
him. Go at him, man.
Yeah.
Especially Cat. Cat should be going right at Wemby.
Mhm.
Foul him out the game. Whatever happened to going at their big man with yours when you got a big man that can do that, that has moves. The great Akeem Olajuwon would have posted Wemby up all day and fouled him out of the game.
Mhm.
I'm just telling you, and use his size. That's what Cat needs to be doing. The quickness. That's what Jalen needs to be doing. All right. And for Miles, it was an awful game for Miles McBride. Miles McBride and Mitchell Robinson and Shamit, the bench just did not play well tonight. They were awful. Miles McBride only 9 minutes, 0 of 2 from the field, man. Oh, I mean, just awful, man. 0 of 2 from 3 point range. And how about this? He didn't score, but he had a turnover.
Mhm.
That's I mean,
Yep.
so he scored no points. Miles McBride, no points, had no rebounds, had no assists, but 1 turnover. That has to be one of the worst Miles McBride, Deuce McBride games I've ever seen.
Mhm.
So let's then you look at these factors. That was one of the worst Miles McBride games, your Shamit games of the year, Mitch games of the year. He only played 7 minutes.
Mhm.
One of the worst Mikael Bridges games of the year by far. I mean, it's up there.
Mhm.
One of the worst Carl Anthony Town games for this playoff run.
Yep.
And the Knicks only lost by 4 points. They only lost by four. The biggest deciding factor to me, again, was the Knicks being 18 of 22 from the field from the free throw line, and the Spurs being 25 of 32 from the free throw line. The Spurs made 25 free throws to 18 for the Knicks. That's your point differential right there.
Mhm.
Right there. Right there. So, I mean, it was one of and listen, this is one of those press conferences I want to hear Brown get up on that podium and rip into these refs. Do it in a professional way, but you need to point out all of these things that you saw, bro. You got to point out the two flagrants on Jalen. You
Mhm.
got to point out them stopping the play, calling a whistle while your guys are dribbling the ball, so that they could look at a play and then not even give you the time back
Mhm.
that they should have given you by calling a dead ball in the middle of play.
Mhm.
I mean, when you know the announcers are scratching their heads about these referee calls,
Yep.
and they almost always was on the Knicks. When you know it's bad now because the announcers are taught, especially in the NBA, the way it's run now, to just keep it to a minimum when they're being vocal about how bad they've been. It's
Mhm.
not just us. It's not just Knicks fans mad because we lost. Nah, man, this has become something that's highlighted now. It's become a part of the narrative, and that's not good for the NBA. It's not
Mm.
good for ratings. It's not good for drawing fans in that just want to be true fans and appreciate the beauty in the game. And they don't want to see referees deciding games like this.
Mhm.
Just be fair, call it down the line, and may the best team win. And I think if you do that, the best team, the Knicks, will win. The best team will win.
Mm.
All right, so that's it from Fan Pros tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. It was a rough game, but we'll get them next time. The Knicks have game 4 coming up on Wednesday. I think they'll bounce back, look at film, and I think they'll play with more confidence. I think they did not play with enough confidence in this
Mm.
game. I think the energy level was on. It was very
Yeah.
tight for them. Having Trump in the building, I think, didn't make it any easier because you got
Mhm.
Secret Service and all these guys around. So he'll be out of here. We won't have to see him at the Garden, and I think it'll be an easier go for them. I think they'll play well. I don't know what to say about the referees. With them, it's a at this point it's a coin flip. So, but I think they'll play strong, well, and I think they will not leave it in the hands of the referees to try to give it to the Spurs again. So, Knicks will play well in the next game. I think we win the next game. Score, I'm not too sure about that. I'd say 120 to 110. I think the Knicks will win it going away. All right,
Mhm.
bro, you're up. Any closing thoughts? Yeah,
Yeah, I think, like you said, next game they should bounce back.
yeah,
Definitely play with more confidence.
yeah,
And guys, yeah, when guys are open, I think they definitely have a better shooting night from three. When guys are open, they're gonna be more aggressive, take
yeah,
shots.
yeah,
They're not gonna overpass or just keep driving and not go at Wemby.
yeah,
Like you said, Cat, it's gonna be more aggressive, be more dominant in the paint.
yeah,
Um, yeah, and then I think once they see how the Spurs are being aggressive and they're seeing how they're playing them really physical, um, and they're seeing how they're reading, like they know the game plan where
yeah,
if they drive into the paint, if we drive into the paint and one becomes over, we kick it
yeah,
for the three. We got to be more aggressive. We got to just go at one B now because
yeah.
these guys they're reading when we come inside the paint and we want to kick the ball back out.
Yes, they're running right out to those
Yeah,
shooters.
they're running right
Take
out.
the shot, man.
Take
You
the
have
shot.
to attack Wemby.
Mhm.
Take the shot. Shamit was the only one that attacked them, but they overpassed it, man.
Mhm.
And Richard Jefferson made a great point. And actually, I saw OG do this, where you use the rim to shield you from the shot
Up.
blocker and come up
Mhm.
on the other side. The Knicks need to think outside of the box attacking this guy. Go at him physically with Carl Anthony's strength. If you're
Mhm.
driving the basketball, just drive, do a step back, quick step back, pull up, arc the shot. I mean, he's been scored on. It
Mhm.
can be done. You've done it already. You won 2 games. All
Mhm.
right. So for the Knicks have what 24 hours or 48 to figure it out.
Yeah. But
They're home. They're in their neck of the woods. They'll get enough rest. I think they'll be fine. And they'll take care of business and go up 3-1, coming up on
mhm.
Wednesday. So that's it from Fan Pros. We thank you guys for joining us out there. Peace to everybody in the chat that joined in on this and all the watchers of the podcast tonight, man. As always, like, subscribe, and comment. It is always appreciated. Y'all bless each and every one of you and your families, and you guys have a good night. Thank you for staying up late with us, man, after this game, man. You know, it was a great game by the Spurs. I didn't like the dirty tactics, but I give them credit for a very good game plan, getting the ball into Wemby early, and we'll be back. And I think you'll see a much better Nick team coming up Wednesday, and we should win that 3 games to 1. But everybody, have a good night. We'll talk to you soon.